Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Good morning, which is what it is here with me. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be if you're not in the Eastern Zone. It is so good to be back another week to spend time with you in our session of transformation. Remembering that every day, every day is a fresh start. Every day. I get a fresh start every single day. Every day. And it is so good to have a fresh start. I'm Shauna Grace, and I am a certified life coach, and I specialize in personal development. For those of you who are just seeing me for the first time, I do a lot of personal development because no matter what else you do in life, if you are not personally developed, that just you, if you're not personally developed, then everything else is just a blur. So we meet Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday so that we can concentrate more on transforming into another better us. Every day, 12:01 a.m., we get to be a better us. And when we get to be a better us, it makes us do things differently. It makes us do things better. Because why? We are better. We left off last week talking about moving, transforming quietly. Everybody's not going to understand your transformation. And this week, we want to get you really comfortable with that. Now, those of you all who you're fine and you don't worry about folk anyway, and it don't matter what they think, how they think, and blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter. I'm not talking to you, so I know you. Thank you for stopping by, but I know you're going on and find a different platform that speaks to the issue that you do have. This is just not one of those issues. However, uh, however, for those of you who uh, you are dealing with transforming and dealing with maybe your family, your BFFs, your co-workers that you've been working with for over 20 years or maybe a little shorter or longer. And they just seem to have some type of feel some type of way about your transformation. I want you to understand that none of that matters. None of that matters. Okay. None of that matters. What does matter is your transformation and how you are becoming better. I just heard, I don't know, some of y'all, I've voiced that I am a believer. And I don't know how many of y'all know Pastor Jamal Bryant out of Atlanta, Georgia, new birth. He took over Eddie Long's ministry that he had. And I was just listening to a clip of him earlier this morning. And he just recently married. And he said that he was trying to give his wife everything, just give her everything. Well, the woman he married had everything. She could go out and buy Gucci bags and Louis Vuittons and all of these type of expensive uh, bags and clothes, and she had her own when he met her. Okay, and he said he realized that it wasn't what he could give her, it was what he could become better for her. Wow. And he didn't say it in that way, but that's the way I can say it. He didn't need to give her better. He needed to be better, is what he said. Because he started off just trying to give her everything. That's a man's thing. He loves to provide. The best thing you can provide is a better you. And that's where transformation comes, is a better you. That makes all the difference in life, is you becoming a better you. And he went on to say how he said you can give her all bags, but if you're still lying, it doesn't mean anything. And he talked to the women too. He said you can do all the tricks, but if you're still cheating, it doesn't mean anything. You have to become a better you. And when he said that, I thought about some people, but I also thought about myself, because that's the journey that I'm on now every day. Even in what I do as a career, I want it to be better. I want to, and in order for it to be better, I have to be better. We get disappointed, we get hurt down behind how people react to us or embrace us. But when we become better, when we focus on being better, their opinions doesn't matter. If they feel, excuse me, I told you this morning, body's still waking up. If they feel some type of way, then they feel some type of way. It's okay. You have got to be okay that they feel some type of way. Their embracing of you may, slow down. Their excitement or happiness being around you may, as we say, dwindle. That's fine. That's fine. You have got to be okay with the transformation of yourself as well as those around you, because those around you transform too. Oh, that's some good coffee, y'all. Brazil. Oh, delicious. So, what I'm saying to you is, you struggle, yeah. Because, well, dang, I was listening to Steve Harvey had a clip, and there were some ladies in his audience that had been together over 50 years. Over 50 years. Now, that's some relationship there. I mean, just BFFs, 50 years, friends. She didn't even say BFF. She just said friends. She said we've been together 50 years and we hang out all the time. But as the chain, now those are friends that as they have transformed from, I think, from childhood, 4 years, they've been together since she was 4 years old, she said. And there's been some transformations, and she's up here in these ages now. It's been some transformation. But those friends were on her level. They were transforming too. So as she transformed, they accepted her because as they transform, she accepts them. When you got connections like that, you're good. You're good. But it's connections like, okay, I can't keep being around folk and they find an opportunity to jokingly jab at me or say something to downplay me or to make me feel inferior to them. No, I live that. Oh God, I live that life. You hear me? I live that life. And when I lived that life, I didn't know that's what I was living at the time. I did not. I didn't know I was living that life. I didn't. What I knew is that I needed to keep loving, keep loving, keep loving, keep loving. Just keep on loving. That's what I knew, okay, was that I needed to keep loving. I was raised to focus on how I treated people. Don't worry about how people treated me. And now looking back, I realized that was a ploy to keep me from focusing on how they were treating me. I was taught that. You're not responsible for how people treat you. You're responsible for how you treat people. Now, that part was true. You're not responsible for how people treat you. That's on them. You're responsible for how you treat people. But in that vein, I was never taught, although you are not responsible for how people treat you, pay attention to how they treat you. And if the treatment is not right, just quietly move away. I had that experience. Those of you all that have been following me for some time, you remember me talking about having a situation where a person was just very disrespectful to me. Very disrespectful. And with that said, I sorry about that, y'all. Forgot to set my phone where it didn't hear. I didn't hear anything. Uh uh they didn't teach me that part. They didn't teach me that part. Okay? Excuse me. Didn't teach me that part. The part that they taught me was to make sure I loved. So I spent my life loving people who never loved me. They benefited from me loving them, but what I benefited from them was heartache, crying, rejection, abandonment, all of that. Now, those feelings were there from uh from childhood because I'm adopted. But at the same time, all of that didn't come from me being adopted. And people tried to say that's what was going on, to hide that really was happening, that they were rejecting me, that they were abandoning me, that and they had their own reasons for doing it. It came out later. It came out later. And I said, I knew that it wasn't all about that. But thank you for finally telling me the truth. Excuse me, stop hiding behind what my background was, trying to say that was what was wrong when you knew that had nothing really to do with it. Today, though, I'm so different. And you know why I'm so different? Because I'm embracing transformation. I'm not fighting it. I used to worry about what folk thought, how people felt. And I even feel another transformation coming on. And I'm trying to right now figure out how am I going to embrace it, because it encompasses so many aspects of what I do that I have to be careful how I come about with that. But I'm still going to do it. You see what I'm saying? Transformation can set you in an area that you've been wanting to get in for so long, but you wasn't in the right demeanor to be there. And transformation is saying, okay, I need you to come on. I need you to come on and let's do this. Okay. Now, excuse me. With that said, what is your fear of embracing transformation? What is your fear of embracing it? What makes you keep questioning your transformation? What makes you keep questioning your transformation? What keeps questioning that? Are you answering to your fear? Or are you answering to the know-how of the transformation? Now, you just heard me say, I feel transformation coming on, but because of the different venues that I be in, I have to bring that transformation forth in a way that I'm comfortable in the venue with that transformation. Did you hear what I said? I have to make sure I'm comfortable in the venue of with this transformation. Now, notice I didn't say that it would be that I had to make sure everybody else is comfortable in the venue. I said I had to make sure I am. You feel me? That I am comfortable in the transformation, in that venue. Oh, I'm transforming. I feel it all the time. I'm transforming. But here's the thing. I want you to understand it's not about those around me. It's about me. Because see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know how we always say you are a magnet, you attract who you are. Then I'm not worried about, you remember I talked about peripheral vision And tunnel vision is I'm just focused on this. Peripheral vision means I'm focused on the big picture. Now, in the situation I'm talking about now, I have to be both. I have to have both vision because I have to focus on the transformation that's happening within me, but I also have to focus on the venue that I have to bring this transformation to. Now, does that mean that I worry about what everybody else? No, honey. No. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. Doesn't mean that at all. What it means is that I've got to make sure that when I step into the venue, I'm okay. You follow what I'm saying? When I step into the venue, I'm okay. And I can walk with the confidence that I need to walk with in my transformation. So you can tell when somebody's not quite, embracing their transformation. They kind of look like they kind of nervous or fidgety and all that kind of thing. But somebody who's confident in their transformation, they walk with a certain level of I know who I am. When I began this podcast series, some way back in the year, I talked about a lawyer that I happened to see. I was standing in the hall, and I came because as support, because I'm a North Carolina State Highway Patrol chaplain, and I heard these heels, okay. And I was on my phone, but that walk got my attention. I said, who is that? The walk said, I know who I am. I'm going in here to win. And I kept hearing the walk. I said, who is that? I said, well, whoever it is, they'll come down there. I said, it's got to be a lawyer. Now, it could have been somebody that came, to support somebody. But that walk didn't say that. That walk said that was a lawyer. I looked. I didn't see nobody. So I got back on my phone. And then the walk started up again. I said, who is this? And I looked. I said, okay. I said, that's got to be the lawyer. When that lady, that female lawyer, I found out later that's who that was. I just knew it. I saw the bags. But that walk, before I ever saw that person, said who she was. She came by me. I held up my head. I said, good morning. She said, good morning. And kept right on walking. But that walk said, I ain't come chit-chat now. I don't know who you are, but I got work to do. See, that's the kind of confidence that you have to develop as you transform. She wasn't worried about a soul in that hallway. Her walk said, I know who I am and I know what I come to do. She wasn't stopping to talk to nobody. She wasn't trying to make friends. She was headed in the courtroom. I said, my God. And let me say something to you. Many of you have said, gosh, I would sure love to have that kind of confidence. I ain't kidding. Embrace your transformation. Embrace it. Embrace your transformation. When you embrace your transformation, it brings that kind of confidence. You know why? Because you begin to like who you are becoming, and you stop focusing on whether anybody else likes it or not. Listen, something minor. Okay? I've always liked feet that, I've seen ladies when they wear sandals, their toes line up just right in that opening where the sandal is, if it's that kind of sandal, or they just line up real pretty. They're I don't say long toes, but they're toes that anybody would love to have to wear a sandal. And I never would wear sandals. Never. I would never wear sandals. I'd wear flip-flops when we went to the pool because, the water and everything, you don't wear your regular stuff. But to wear sandals, just be comfortable out with your feet out. Oh, no. Wasn't a thing in the world wrong with my feet, but my toes are little. I've got that big toe, and then here goes all the other little toes. It's like that. Here's all the other little toes, and then you got this big toe sitting there. Oh, I would not. Because every time I put on a sandal, all you could see was the big toe. I said, no, sir. Not having it. That was decades. I would not. You couldn't get me to wear a sandal. My husband wanted to buy me sandals. I had a friend, and all he sent me was sandals. I said, no. So what did I do? When my transformation journey started, I used to look at my fingers. My fingernail done broke. I used to look at my fingers. I cut them down when my fingernails break, so it won't look so bad. Thumb and ring finger. They both of them said, wiggle. And I fingers. I've got little fingers, short fingers, short toes. You couldn't get me to do anything that would have my feet and hands exposed all the time. No. That wasn't happening. When I got on my transformation journey, I remember, and those of y'all that have been following me, I call God Daddy. I remember Daddy saying to me, he said, I made those toes and I made those fingers. He said, how do you think I feel that you will not be proud of the toes and the fingers, that you have? He said, they're pretty to me because I made them. He said, but because you don't have what somebody else has, you're ashamed of what you have. And I was like, ugh. He was just tearing me all up. I said, Daddy, but come on now. Yes, you did give me these toes, but when I put them in a sandal, I want to wear sandals like everybody else. I said, when I put these feet in sandals, they don't look like theirs. He said, they're not supposed to. He said, they're supposed to look like what I made them to look like on you. Folks, when I tell you, I had to fight to get by that, but Daddy wouldn't leave me alone. He kept right on talking. And I'm here to tell you, today I wear sandals with my whole foot. I use my hands. Because you know what I said? Now, my late husband loved every bit of it. Daddy's going to send me another king. And he's going to love my feet, love my toes, love my little puppy nose, all of it. He's going to love every last bit of it. I embraced it. You see what I'm saying? I embraced it. And when I stopped fighting and hiding and just embraced it and came on out and lived just like everybody else, I don't go around worrying about who looking at my toes, who looking at my hands, what they think, what they don't think. I don't. I don't. You know what I do now? I wear what I wear and I walk and realize that I like my Heavenly Father, first of all, loves it. And I like it. And that's that. I get my toes painted. They look so pretty. I don't do my hands because I like my nail bed. My nail bed is strong and my nails do grow. Okay, you can wait a minute. Yeah, you can see that. I've cut this hand down. But do you understand what I'm saying? The confidence that comes from you embracing your transformation, not fighting it, is worth you embracing it. We're going to talk some more tomorrow. Join me right here with your cup, with your favorite beverage in it, and let's talk some more about embracing that transformation. The confidence. See, the confidence, and this is where we're going to start tomorrow, the confidence of you embracing the transformation causes you not to worry about others' opinion of your transformation. Join me tomorrow. Have a very good rest of your time in today. Bye.